Hey, welcome back to Made Up of Wires, where we're decompiling Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Everybody's doing well. We're working on Olrox. We're going to get back to it. Yesterday we found a simple function, but oddly, that function was different between the PSP and the US version, PlayStation version of the game. That wasn't what I was wanting or expecting, but that's the way it ended up, and that's what happens sometimes. Let's move on to a new function in Olrox, and we'll see how things are going. So I think just taking the next function up before this one makes sense. Yesterday, we found this. It looks like the ordering of these functions is different, so I'm going to have to move these around. I want to do the function immediately before and immediately after, and see if these are going to continue to be the same in both versions of the game. This is one of the ways we learn where file splits are between different functions and data, is by the ordering of these functions in the file. And because these functions are appearing in different order, it appears that they are going to end up being in different files. So we'll start with the function just before this one and see how this goes. And I was mentioning the implementation of these was quite a bit different between the two. It's unclear to me why. And I did mention a little bit about the differences between the versions of the game. Let me see if I can pull up a timeline of the game. I was actually just refining it recently, but I don't think I've exported a new version of this graph. I don't seem to have it handy either. Well, too bad for the stream, I guess. Is this it? No, that's not. Let me just create a new. Oh, sometimes simple things become difficult, don't they? I wonder if I should give a new talk this year. That video early on was a video that I did put together for my Game on Expo talk last year. Something. There we go. Hey Volto, good to have you back. Roaming, good to have you as well. Yeah, chat's working today. I don't know what happened yesterday. It was a bummer. But what are you going to do? Alright, there we go. There's an image. So this is an approximate timeline. I have verified some of this. Some of it I haven't verified. But one of the things that we have is the US version of the game splitting off from a much later branch than the EU PSP version of the game that we're working on. I actually have EU PSP breaking off JP 1.1. I'm not sure if that's true though. That is an estimate, and there's a later JP version, JP 1.2. I actually just ordered a copy of 1.1 and 1.2, and so we'll look at those in a few months, I think. Oh, Roaming said he matched with 65,000. Interesting. Instead of the shift, and that does match on both. Let's try it. That matched on the PSP as well. Well, look at that. Great job. Thank you for that. Still such an odd construction. Let's take this part over. That does, the multiply does make more sense than the shift. The number is so large though that it didn't, and I know that it's the same as the shifted by 16 version. Doing that as opposed to doing the shift is what didn't make sense to me. But yeah, both, that does look identical now. So thank you, Roaming. Appreciate it. I'm going to go back to this, and we'll use your version. Thank you. I appreciate it. If we can find matching code, obviously, between the two versions of the game, that is always better than, regardless of what they look like. As much as I would prefer the terser versions, I'd much rather them be identical. So now if we pulled the data and put it in place, these both would match. Awesome, thank you. All right, let's, oh, not ready to do that yet. So let's start with the PlayStation again. For a long time I've liked starting with the PlayStation, and I don't know. Maybe habits are hard to break. The PSP versions are, I don't know, increasingly helpful, and I'm getting more used to how those are decompiled. And so maybe my days of starting with the PlayStation are going to be over soon. Who knows? Uh-oh. Let me make sure that I'm... Ooh. Make sure that I'm authorized. There we go. Looks like just a hiccup maybe from decomp.me. Maybe more than a few hiccups. This page is reloading. I didn't get the... Now let's try again. I haven't seen a Cloudflare auth yet. Seems like Cloudflare, or not Cloudflare, Decomp.me thinks it's healthy. Uh-oh. So we may have some issues. Let's do, while I'm waiting for this to work itself out, let's go back over here. Let's build. I don't think I built after I did those other things. Maybe I did. And let's do some reconnaissance to see whether or not these look like the same function. This can be a little challenging, but we can get a general idea. So we start out with some... How big is this function? Bigger than I want to do without M2C. We start out with some things that do look familiar. We have 2 pointers. Are they the same pointers from our previous function? (4A0) and 6E0. 4A0 we did use in our last function. 6E0 we did not. They both are representing, or referencing, sorry, current entity constants 60, 40, and 80. The 209 is also interesting. 60, 40, 209. Let's see the 80. Possible 80 was a flag. Or in the other case, we had to divide by 128, and that could be what is going on here as well. So it looks like these are the same function. So I think we can go with that. Let's see, is Decomp.me gonna go today? I should do a health check beforehand. Make sure I can create scratches. It's always I've done it in the past when there's been stability issues, but it'd be worth in the future setting up my own local instance. This may be what gets me back to Discord. Alright, so we stuck still on Decomp.me. Let's look at the next one. So it does look like, though, the preceding function is the same. So I think there is some confidence there. I have some confidence with that. Let's look at the next function. 288 on the PlayStation, or the PSP side. We have a jump table. Yeah, it's not a bad idea, roaming. Roaming suggesting clearing the cache. Not the worst idea. Let's see what I can do. 1 second. Oh, it looks like it might be my issue. I'll try something else. Sometimes. There we go. Sometimes Safari networking fails. And that's what looks like happened here. Alright, so we're grabbing the primitive related to the current entity. And then we're doing a bunch of stuff with it. We don't know, well, we know some of these, but we don't know all of the pointer types for these globals. As I mentioned before, we do know some of them. And so let me get the types that we do know. You know, DC4, EE0, and 6E4, but it's referenced as 6E8. There's not going to be any 6E8. I guess what we can do is make 6E8 a what is that? A fixed 32 array. That'll at least give us something close. I think that's what we have it as, X32. Yep, it's been a while. Let's get a new decomp and see what. So FFC, we still need N0BC. Let's go down and see how close those are. Okay, so those we don't know yet. Let's go find them. So let's stay here for now. Var A3 is one of these. This looks like it's going to just be pairs of sine 6. No, just sine 16s, I think. And OBC. Same thing. So that looks like sine 16 arrays to me. We'll see how it goes. Hey, does it? Good to have you back. Okay, so a few things to clean up. My guess is that this is going to be written very similar to the other one, so a lot of the ideas from yesterday's we could probably take as well. So these end up being offset. So EE0 is going to be pairs of 16s, or at least multiplied by 2. I think that's all we need right now, so let's start. dealing with this. What I want to figure out is, can we do the var a3 plus 1 thing? And it looks like we can. Looks like that'll be fine. Let's get this compiling, and then I'll worry about those other things. So for any time we see var a3 unknown 0, it's just going to be a var a3 dereferenced. And once we've used it, we can plus it and then do the same thing for the unknown one. And these are going to be pointer access. I'm not too worried about that at the moment. This can actually be dereferenced as +1. Oh, did I screw up the stream title? Sometimes I think that Stream Elements doesn't properly update the YouTube stream title. I think that's what's happening. And I'm not meticulous enough to make sure that all that works out the way I want it to. Let me see if I can fix it. I set the stream schedule in YouTube Studio. There's just too many working parts, I think. Everything wants to update different things. Let's see. I just verified it's me, Google. Now we'll keep going while that loads in the background. Actually, how do I do it live? I don't know. I don't know how to do it live. So we'll just keep going. Oh, I'm finding it. I'm finding it. There we go. Saved. 2021. Yeah, so when I'm starting the stream in Stream Elements, I do set the correct date, or I try to. 99% of the time I set the correct date. And in this case, it didn't get set. So anyway, I don't know. Oh, comment about Silent Hill on PC. Interesting. All right, let's get back to it. So we need to get rid of these unknown 2s as well for the DC4 global. I'm not going to do that quite yet. I'm going to take care of this temp A3. And we're just going to keep incrementing var A3 and use that instead. So unless var A3 is used, probably don't need it to be unmutated. When I am programming for real, I do like immutable variables, but don't need that right now. This var a3 underscore 2, we're going to get rid of that and just use var a3 again. And we have to do the same thing down below. I screwed that up a little bit. But I think I can deal with it. I think there's going to be one more increment for var a3. I'm not sure. We'll see. There may be one more increment here. We'll get back to it and see if that ends up being the case. RT0. It looks like we can just dereference that and do a plus plus. There's more to clean up here, but that's okay. We have a shift by 10 again, which is that same shift by 16 in this case. Same multiply by 65,000. Okay. Let's take care of some of these others. So ultimately, these are going to end up being indexes into this array. And the multiply by 4 is actually not going to be done either. It's going to be multiplied by 2 because these are being taken as pairs. I'm not sure that this is the correct order, but we'll see. There is a, in this case, the other side of the pair is being used. So this will be a plus 1. And the rest of these should follow that same pattern. And because we're incrementing var A3 along the way, I think I missed 1. 7 here. We can reuse that same thing over and over. And I'll go back and get rid of some of those variables in a little bit. All right, var A2 is a new one. Here we have, it looks like a big chunk of copying. I have to go see what these fields are. Sometimes this happens because the primitive struct is used in a bunch of different ways. This could be like a copy, like an optimized copy from the compiler, but it could also be just the developer trying to copy big chunks at once. And so this is loading this as a word and copying it as a word is what it looks like to me. So we have the load word macro that we can use for that. And use R1, and then this is coming from load word R0. And this is going to be R1, R2, and R3. Basically copying all 4 bytes at once. Hey, Nick me. I actually haven't been I haven't been on Discord in months, and there is a recomp that's currently going around that I saw that Dragon Blitz was working on, or was streaming, and I know it seemed like Eldritch had some work on that, who does a lot of the randomizing and speedrunning patches to the original game. But yeah, I need to go back and see what's going on, because it's been a while. But I do need to look at. I talked a little bit about decomp versus recomp yesterday, and I think it's worth probably dedicating a little more time to talking about that, because they are quite a bit different. What the end result is different as well, and so until I spend a little more time, I think, getting some material together for that, and looking at what was done, because I haven't looked at. Sorry, just making sure I didn't miss a ad in there. So recomp is neat because you get a native executable, but that native executable is really still working against a virtual machine, and so you don't get all the benefits of a full decomp, and they're actually somewhat complementary, and you can bootstrap your decomp with a recomp, but there's also legal challenges that exist in a recomp that are less present in a decomp. So there's trade-offs and pluses and minuses to all of it. There may be an additional var A3 increment in there. I'm gonna assume that there is. This likely is up here, and we probably have a var A3. This is gonna be my assumption. Okay, we're almost done. We have that same copy over here. And 75. One more, and then we should be compiling. And this is the same thing. So 6E4. 6E4 and 6E8 are the same thing. They're part of the same pause. My guess here is that so this is going to be I. Let's start cleaning some of this up. We have our primitive var A2. I'm going to change that name to prim. We're going to make our I variable. We have 1A primitives. That's 26. Yeah, that's true, Romy. Good call. A decomp, you get code, and in this case, you're getting code that matches. That doesn't necessarily mean you can compile it on anything. And in most cases, it means you can't. It just means that you can compile it back to the same binaries as the original system. I know that Xianimo definitely he's working on a PlayStation SDK library, and just like the PSP version has. So the PSP version of Symphony of the Night is built against a PlayStation SDK for the PSP. Having a PlayStation SDK for the PC makes it easier to target decomps that way. One of the ideas that I had been thinking about, 39, weird number, was can we do a Ship of Theseus recomp with a lot of the stuff that we've done. I talked about this a little bit yesterday as well. I think that would be somewhat interesting. But I've not looked at how the decomp or the recomp project is being built. I would be afraid personally to ship a recomp, like the output of a recomp. You could ship the tooling so that you could recomp on somebody else's computer, but the recomp itself is a mechanical transformation, and so that wouldn't be protected under copyright. 210 is going to be 256 plus 16. No, 512 plus 16. 518, 528. That's my personal view. Risk-averse personal view. So this is going to be I. And RT0. RT0 may be coming from I as well. Let's try that. I hope it's that instead of the plus. A lot of this code, though, is incrementing a pointer, so let's keep it the way it is. RV1 is gone now. The shift by 10, so that goes along with the multiply by 65,000. And since roaming found that was what the other one was doing, let's do it here too. How's that been slipping? So we found a couple of odd things earlier, and it looks like they're going to be the same in this one too. We have T1 and T2, and T3 I think ended up being I, where we have these strange variables, and they look like XY offsets. They're being pulled out early on. And so let's do that. We're going to have... and it looks like these are being used for UV. They are XY, but for the texture space. So let's pull those out. And they're kind of offsets. But it looks like they're used consistently. And B. We have 80s down here that may be pulled out the same way. Interestingly, at least these are being done first. It looks like DC4 might be pulled out as well. So it's possible that that's incremented. I'll go back and look at the other. Yeah, so we did have a variable for that was pulled out, and then it's just kind of incremented as things go along. And so that's probably the case here as well. So I will need to get a variable back for that. See if some of these are gone and I can clean them up. The functions aren't always written the same, but often they're written similarly enough that you can assume a lot. So I'm going to take var a1. How do I want to do this? It looks like we're getting pairs here. So I can't... I was hoping to be able to increment it, but I don't think I can do that. Okay, so one of the things I'm seeing is RA3 probably is not a signed 16, but a unsigned byte. And so then we have to go back. And var3 is FFC. So both of these, it looks like. That got us pretty close. Probably missing a increment for var3 here. Phone call 1 second. So we're still going to be doing the UV, just a little bit different. We're going to be setting U to 0 and V to 128. And so GCC knows this, that this is a +0. It can infer that. And so it doesn't even emit the instructions for that. And it looks like these are probably backwards, and I have to fix them all now. It should be U plus. Yeah. And V plus. That's a little boring, but it lines up nicer, which is nice. I have to go back up and do the same thing above. think ultimately the goals, though, of a decomp, going back to that, a decomp and a recomp are different. If you really want to play a game on a system, and that system is fast enough to, I mean, you're still effectively emulating a CPU, you're emulating it faster than how a regular emulator can do it, then I guess if that's what you want to do, you can go for it, no big deal. So here I need to determine whether or not these are being accessed directly or not. And again, let's go back to what that other one looks like. So the CE4 is and we're using DC4 now. Let's see if that is not actually a that didn't help. All right, let's go back to, or let's find the PSP version and we'll see how that one goes. We have to fix some things with primitive. But we're pretty close. We're pretty close. Oh, come on, Decomp dummy. You can do it. Sorry, reading Discord. Totally blanked out for a second there. Wrong function, it looks like. That was weird. Weird mind blank. Hey, Flavor Phoenix, good to have you. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to start out with, but as you get meaning and understanding of a bunch of things going on, it definitely becomes much easier. So Really, the amazing work was done early on, identifying a lot of the SDK types, understanding how they were used, and so much of that, I think, is it's building blocks. You get a little bit of information at the beginning and build on top of that, and that helps a lot. So we're going to be using the PlayStation symbols, even though this is the PSP version. I'll flip them over as we get a little closer. But I'll do some cleanup here first, and then we'll move over. So I say this every time we deal with primitives on the PSP. The PSP has an additional 4-byte padding here, and that will affect offsets for all of the structs, and so we just need to put that in to make sure that it's there. And I do want to look at M2C, and so I am going to let's do this first. Let's get these symbols updated, and then I'll make M2C a little easier. So when we see them, we just have to make sure that these are the right ones. And F4A0 and EC4, I think those were the same. If they're not, we'll switch them. It's not that big a deal. And now we're just getting the correct symbol names. These are automatic names that the disassembler generates. We just need to make sure that we have these in about the same location. And what's going to happen if these aren't in the right location, then we're going to be dealing with variables that are pointing to the wrong thing, and so we're going to get registers that are mismatched. So I'm seeing a few things. It looks like the var A3 pointer may be getting incremented after each one of these. We have an add of 1 that's occurring frequently that is not existing. So we probably need to do a plus plus. This is getting... So U and V here look like I made them sign 32, so it looks like they're on sign 8s. We have an extra move happening here. I'm not going to worry about that right now. We'll see what happens in a little bit. So 28, yeah. So I've been multiplying this by 2 and then adding 1. But what it looks like is happening is that var A3. And so this could be a like a var A3 star star. And that would actually be a little nicer. Let's try that. Or sorry, plus plus. So that's not it, which is a bummer. It is still a ×2 though. Hey, don't fluff the pillows. Thank you, appreciate it. So after each one of these, we have to do the plus plus. Let's try it. Let's try to put it in line. It'd be great if it was in line. I like how that looks better, but it's not. Too bad. So we got to put our var a3++ over it and over. Not a big deal, but it just adds a lot of visual noise. I don't have a new line in there. Eight. It's like we're missing. There's an extra move here. I don't know what the cause of that is yet. Different things could be happening to cause that. 31. I have an increment that they don't have. Strange. 35. Have an increment that they don't have. Oh, so this is strange. So a lot of these aren't getting incremented like I expected. Not sure what to think about these increments that are offset by 1. Oh, some of them are being offset. Interesting. Thank you, roaming. Good call. So that means we have a nested array. Let me finish these out here. So we do have another var up here, RA4. It's getting loaded into register S1, which is used throughout, so it's the same. I have it as A1, I think. $528, that is here is probably actually 4 times whatever this number is. And that's because or maybe 8 times. The value that was being used as the offset here was being multiplied by 8, which is then where the 528 came from. So it should be 66 instead. All right, so we have a bunch of moves, and Roaming pointed out that it looks like this may be a 2-dimensional array. Let's see if we can confirm that down here as well. I may be using the wrong variable down here. Maybe this should be var 3. Okay, let's go back up and see. So ultimately, our load is, let's see, this one. This load is at offset 0, and then I should have a load at offset 2. Yeah, Roaming is thinking that it's that I need to put that +1 back, likely. Oh. And that, I'm not compiling as was. The +1, I don't think the +1 is going to work because I think I'm going to get an add instruction. And so I have to do one of two things. I have to either reference this, which may or may not work, we'll see, or, sorry, 1 there, or treat it as a 2-dimensional array. Those are my choices. So this does give me the correct offset if I do it that way. But I could just treat it as a 2-dimensional array and get away with the same thing. And that may be the better option. Or just do the pointer arithmetic. Like this, and this should give me the same thing as well. Is it destructive 2/16? Yeah, it could be. Actually, no, it can't be. Can it be? Yeah, absolutely, it could be. So it could be an array or it could be a struct. And we do have pairs. Pause 16. Wait, a pause 16. That's 16x. 0.16. We can make this a 0.16. I think that'd be fine. I probably have these backwards then. But let's do that. Var 1. I'm going to have to. Var 3 is We'll use var t0 down here. That might not be the right variable. So EE0, we'll fix this one, make it the PSP type. And like I said, it's possible that I have these backwards. But, so this would make var A1, which is this 5C0. Have that at the top here. Gotta make this a 0.16. And this would also be a 0.16. And so then we can just use X and Y. And var A1, I have to make it 0.16. I did that wrong. Making this 0.16 means I can get rid of all the multiplied by 2's, which is nice. I like that. Incrementing bar A3, though, like in the middle of the X and Y, is weird. I screwed that up again, didn't I? X, Y, X, Y, X, Y. X, Y. So let's see how this worked out. So I have an odd move in here. Yeah, so I have a bunch of multiplied by zeros, or multiplied by 2's that need to go away. Because now this struct is a 4-byte struct, which eliminates the need to do that. But, yeah. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. Drat. I would have... There's a bunch of code in Soten like this, where they use signed16 arrays very liberally. And now I gotta undo all these changes. And would you want to use a struct for it? Yes, but they don't use a struct for it. So then you have to come up with how are you going to deal with the added offset. And so really there's two ways to do it. And I think the better way to do it is to just do the pointer arithmetic and write it like this. I I do not like this form, but this will produce the correct code gen. So I'm gonna go with that. Yes. And I'm open to other suggestions if you know of a way to write this that looks nicer. Did I screw this up again? Yeah, I did. I did. That's okay. I'll fix it. I still don't understand what the increment is doing in between. That doesn't make sense to me. But let's go look at that. So the register's wrong, which is fine. Everything else looks correct. All right, so this is the way I'm going to keep it, but why would you increment in the middle and then do an offset of 1? I don't get it. Is it possible that var A3 is getting ++ here? And that's where the additional move comes from? That's where it comes from. I see. I hate it even more. What an awful. Oh, and I got these wrong. Okay, so somebody at Konami is on my bad list. I'm not appreciative of what they have done. So looks like I have an extra variable here. Let's go fix that bottom section to be the same horrendous flop. This is honestly one of the ugliest things I've ever seen. This is really bad. And is it worse that I came up with this to match, or that this is possibly the way somebody wrote it? I don't know. Oh, it looks terrible. This is... this was one. It looks a little more symmetrical than putting the increment in between the X and the Y. Which was always wrong. But when MetroWorks comes through, it's trying to evaluate these things in order. It knows that it has to do the increment, which is going to fall after the result of this expression, but the way that it orders it is in the order of evaluation, so that it can be both correct and in the correct evaluation order. So I have an extra variable that I need to do with. Let's let's see where this has fallen out on the PlayStation. And see, oops, wrong. Yeah, so that's getting pretty close here. I do think I might have screwed up these variables, so let's get the right variables back. Okay, so we have some issues down at the bottom here. Everything else looks fine, so I think I did get the correct variables up at the top. We have an extra var t0 because I was trying to make var a1 not a signed 16 pointer. I think that can go away, and it looks like we might be doing maybe something similar up here then too. Yeah, that matched. So let's go back over. And that looks like that works over here as well. So we have the symbols that are wrong. We can go back and fix those. But it looks like it was just that one variable that was adding the move and the other instructions. So let's fix that, and I think we got it. Thank you, roaming. Appreciate it. Tizik says the last global is E8, not E4. It is E4, believe it or not, and I'll show you why. Enough is getting cut off that you can't see why. That one matches perfect. We're not going to get a perfect match on the PlayStation because we have our E8 symbol that's getting generated here, and SPIM, the disassembler, doesn't know any different. But what really gets generated is E4 plus 4. And what is E4 plus 4? It's E8. SPIM thinks it has a symbol there because it produced a symbol there because it thinks it's a unique address, but it's not a unique address. And it thinks it's a unique address because the compiler generated it as a unique address. Yep, part of well, they're different fields in the same struct. It's the X and Y of this struct. So E4 is the X, and E8 is the Y. And that happens. It can happen with arrays, but it mostly happens with structs because the offsets get baked in. Okay, a little trickier than I was expecting. I'm out of practice. Let's see how we go. Big money, works fine. And let's try it on the PSP. Stole the US name. And there we go, we have another one in the bag. So we should have some of these references that are duplicated now. 4A0, 5C0, 580, 4A0, 5C0, 580. Those are all reused above, so we can get rid of those. And probably the same thing here. And so the last thing I think I'll do before signing off for the day is checking this next function that that happens in order and see if that's the same. A great comment, can't get effect works. Love it. And let's see what the equivalent is. Or if it is equivalent. We won't have the strings in line necessarily. So we have a jump table in both of them. That isn't very unique. This string is being sent to font print. We do have a string going to font print. Let's see what that string is. Can't get effect works. So this is the same. We're in the same section. Which is a good place to be. We know this is going to continue on. I won't be around tomorrow, but I'll be back next week. And in the meantime, I'll try to take more look at the Recomp project and see what's going on there. But that's it. I'll see y'all later. Adios.